What's poppin'? Oh my God, what's poppin'? Holy shit, what's pop? Fellas, what's happening? I'm back here. You know I had to come up here, get a video going for the boys, man, for the fellas, talking about what's happening, especially how things are lying. Um, yeah, so I mean, just to kick it off, first of all, brilliant video, sending the chilling out on crypto. I saw that earlier as well, and I spent the whole day just like cleaning the house, chilling, just also worked on my bicycle, which was incredibly therapeutic, just to kind of step away from all this stuff. However, I noticed a little bearish sentiment from Pauly G, man. Pauly G, what's happening? I mean, definitely not a bad decision to pull out. I do think we could still fall a little bit more. Certainly, I mean, the sentiment isn't the best, not at all. It's not looking like it's changing anytime soon. However, your boy is buying these dips, bro. Your boy is going in right now. I'm getting pretty excited, to be honest, because I'm smelling more opportunity. The more that Bitcoin crashes, the more opportunity I'm smelling. I'm getting excited, fellas. I'm getting excited. But again, to each his own. So right away, I just want to go over, a little bit of just investing ideas. So there's an old quote from Warren Buffett. Obviously, you guys all know who that is. One of the most brilliant investors of all time. And his whole quote is, be fearful when others are greedy and be greedy when others are fearful. So let's go back to, 2-3 weeks ago when, what was the sentiment of everybody? Everybody's posting these videos of how great Bitcoin is, how it's the magical thing in the world, how it's, it's going to fucking donkey kick the US dollar in the nutsack and all this shit, right? And what was Pags doing? What was little old Pags doing? Hey guys, don't buy right now. It's a bad time. And what did you motherfuckers do, bro? Not listen. Sorry, I got a little heated there because this is something y'all need to hear. This is just the investment 101. What are we listening to right now? Everybody's fucking fearful. Everybody's posting these videos of, oh my God, Bitcoin's crashing, yada, yada. Bro, this is the time to be going in low key. Like, this is it. Now, I'm not saying bet everything today, but I have, for instance, over the next 4 to 6 months, I have planned out to invest every single fucking day, fellas, every single fucking day, because I'm smelling opportunity. And the more that it crashes, the more I'm doubling up my payments. So if Bitcoin, for instance, we could dive into the charts, but before we dive into the charts, fellas, first of all, yes, absolutely. Like this could be a 6 month long, just drawn out, like could dip more, could just hang out around here. I really don't see it recovering anytime, within 3 months. I really don't. But I do see an opportunity to be investing in 3 months, over the next 3 to 6 months. I think you guys should all do this no matter where you guys stand. This is the time to be picking up little bags. This is the time to be reinvesting, getting back in. The idea is you sell when everybody's fucking greedy and everybody doesn't see what's going on, but you get excited when everybody's fearful. You just got to flip the sentiment. When everybody's going right, we got to zigzag and go left, fellas. We got to zigzag and go left. And when everybody's going left, we're going right. We're going right. So let's break into a very bullish chart that I need you fellas to just look at from a grandiose. Let me refresh this page to so you guys could see the whole chart deal. But again, actually, before we even go into this, let me just show you the fear and greed index. This is at 13. Brilliant time to buy. Let's just look at the 1 year. Go back to when everybody was greedy as fuck. April 17th was when the dip started happening. Everybody was greedy. Greed and fear index was 76, fellas. That's the time to be selling. It's time to be buying now. I know it sounds counterintuitive. It sounds like suicide, and it could be, to be honest. Like to be honest, the next month we could see another 30% dip or 40% dip. But again, going in a little bit every day, you're mitigating that risk. You're not buying everything today or tomorrow. You're putting it out over the cross 4 months, or in these trading bots. I'll show you guys how these work, or how they're currently working right now, actually. But this, before diving into all this stuff, this is the idea, fellas. So Paulie, man, this is not the time to be necessarily selling. I mean, it's not the worst time to sell, but it's more of a time to be buying, to be honest, in my assessment, my general assessment of things. Or, let it crash a little, because it'll probably crash a little bit more. Like, we're probably gonna take another little 20% dip, but it won't be for long, and it's not really going to be the end of the world, because you're still investing in a solid asset. Bitcoin, bro, is a fucking domineering asset, bro. This is the shit. This is like, and Ethereum's going to be right up there with it too. So the last thing you want to do, you want to get in before like any sort of swing ups or like pumps and stuff. You kind of want to start setting up positions when there's crashes. And you're never going to time the bottom perfectly. So the best thing to do is buy on the way down. So let's just check out what these bots are doing. As you fellas have heard, I put 11 grand in one of these bots. So we're going to see how this goes. We're getting a little sendy with it. But the idea is, if you see these lines, how it works, it divides the $11,000 or the $10,000 across every one of these lines. So, call every one of these lines maybe like $500 or so, maybe $500 or $600. So it's a buy order every time, it dips or whatever, it buys. And that's exactly how I set the bot up. So I'm excited. So let me just show you guys a refreshment real quick of a brand new bot. I'm not setting it up right now, but this is literally how I set up the link bot. So I took away all the sell options and I put only things to below for it to buy. So when it crashes, it's going to buy. And that's why you're seeing these lines now above it, because it started crashing. That's how I set it up. I'm anticipating this fucking crash, fellas. So like I said, I'm getting excited because it means my plan is getting worked, bro. And I have this setup where it could have taken roughly a 72% fall, which I don't think it will, but if it did, that would fucking suck. But that's how I have it set up, because fellas, there's money to be made right now. I'm getting hyped. Or at least this is the time to start setting up positions again over the next 3 to 6 months. So the way that this is set up is I'm kind of hoping that it crashes roughly 40% over the next 3 to 6 months. But on the way, it'll be setting up positions automatically for me. So I don't even have to worry about this shit, bro. But I back tested it, and this is the 30-day result with the strategy that I was using. So roughly 20% a month with, 10 grand, call it. So 2 grand a month. Theoretically is what it would do. We'll see how that actually plays out. But as you can see, these bots, they actually mitigate, or I'm sorry, I had the wrong bot back tested, but, or no, I didn't. But these bots, they mitigate risk. So for instance, from here to here, that's a 14% dip today, or maybe, I don't know, from here to here, 10% dip. But look how much the bot only took. A 1.51% dip, fellas. So these things mitigate risk. Like y'all got to get on the trading bots, bro. At least if you're doing the short-term cap gain shit, like, bro, trading bots are a fucking W, bro. They're a W. So everything's dipping right now. Like we're watching the markets dip, but you guys are watching these bots are only taking fractional dips. Like, this ain't shit, So I'm getting pumped, low key. I'm getting excited. But in all fair assessment, we likely will take a 4 to 6 month consolidation period. This shit's not just gonna turn around tomorrow. But again, I think it's something to, start setting up positions, fellas, over the next 4 to 6 months. It's adding to the bag season. Is quite frankly how I see it. So just looking at this chart in general, I want to dive into the stock to flow model, because every other model is not really looking bullish, but I think this one is going to be the key in this assessment, if you will, or to be used as a tool for now. So basically, if we just generally look at the stock to flow model again, you don't need to be any sort of genius or anything like that. But the idea is you buy below the line or below the signal line and you sell above the signal line. So play this out. Like, let's go back in time. Ready? You buy all over here. You just buy. You keep buying. Just close your eyes. Market's saying, oh my God, China this, China, like you can look up the news back then and it literally has the same thing that's going on today. Is like China this, oh my God, Bitcoin's going to crash, everything, right? So boom, you buy. When it goes above the line, fellas, that's when we sell. You know, and obviously in today's market, it didn't go too far above. So it's a little bit, you got to use other charts to kind of know when to bob and weave. That's where the Pi cycle top indicator, I think, was super important to listen to, along with the MACD crossing. Where am I? Okay, so back to this though. If you just close your eyes and you just listen to just this chart, I think you fellas would honestly like be able to make brilliant investment. At least like we'd make far better investment decisions than the average crypto investor, right? If you just buy below the line, sell above. And you don't have to make massive moves. Again, you just buy a little bit every day. So you go $100 a day, $100 a day, or $50 a day, or $20 a day, you know, for however long it is. And then you just sell. Same way on the way up. You just sell $20 a day, $100 a day, $200 a day, $1,000 a day, you know, and even if you didn't time the top properly, so let's say you bought all this shit, buy, and you didn't even time the top properly, you're still going to be making profit if you just listen to this rule. Sell above the line, buy below the line. That's it, fellas. That's it. It's really that simple. And I know that sounds ignorant, but like you got to just have faith in this. You got to flip, you know, a little bit of the sentiment. Warren Buffett said it best. You literally, I mean, let's look up this quote. Be greedy when others are fearful. Quote. Ready? Check this out. Warren Buffett, genius investor. Be fearful when others are greedy. Be greedy when others are fearful. This is an opportunity right now. It's not the time to be getting scared. Time to get excited. I'm getting fucking stoked low key. So, but anyway, back to the stock to flow model. If we just briefly look at this, yeah, like, yes, we're not going to time the bottom perfect. That's never going to happen. You know, I got a little lucky timing the top a little bit. I get, you know, that's a little luck. Like, let's just call it what it is. That's a little bit lucky. But the idea is we're not going to be able to time the tops and the bottoms. We're really not. But the idea is you just kind of follow the general sentiment of these models. You just buy below the line, start selling when you're above the line. That's it. And where are we at now? Fellas? I'm saying it's time to start setting up positions. And it might take 4 months. We might have one of these situations over here where we might go down a little bit. You know, who knows? Maybe a little bit, maybe a 20%, 30% retracement. I'm set up for it. I'm ready for it. But and mentally ready for it too. I think that's important too, to anticipate these things. So when it happens, you're not scared. You're like, yep, it's according to plan. I'm right with it. But with that being said, look at the potential upside. If we're about to follow one of these parabolic moves, who knows when this could happen? Obviously, the institutions, they need to do a little bit of stuff. Like Bitcoin is going through this like wrap process where they're able to identify where Bitcoins are mined from to see if they're environmentally clean. And institutions, they won't touch Bitcoin until that process is done. So that might take 2-3 months. It really will. But the point is, okay, we might consolidate for 2-3 months. And then what happens when we just have this massive move? You're going to be stoked. You set up $10, $20 positions every day for the next, you know, however long it could be December. It looks like, just blindly looking at this model, it looks like everything peaks in December roughly, goes boom, December, boom, December. At least when we talk about, so this is a local top, but it looks like, well, and they don't consider this part of like the cycle, the first top. They just kind of, you know, ignore that. But these market cycle tops is kind of what they indicate as the markets, these massive moves. So I don't know if it's supposed to happen in December. That one happened in December, and we're kind of modeling, like, if you look at July, peaked out in June/May. What are we? Peaked out April. but it's dipping in June. And what do we have happening over here? It's dipping in, well, I don't know. So we might be a month or two behind, but cool. You just set up your positions and like you just anticipate to not really do a whole lot over the next 2 to 3 months, maybe even take a 20% dip, who knows, but the high side far outweighs the bottom. So if it does something like this, or maybe not even that big, if you have a move like up to here, what is that going to do to the entire market, to Ethereum, to Bitcoin, to, I mean, Chainlink, everything, fellas, everything's going to like have that, at least the top 5, top 10 coins. I don't know about the shit coins. Like, you know, being honest, I don't, you know, the ship gamble is an absolute gamble. That's not something to model after, but the rest of my moves are solid fucking decisions. And like, I'm just trying to share the game so we all get some money going, you know? And so that's the general gist of the stock to flow model, at least the top of it. Let's take a peek-see now down here at the bottom. Oh, hit the wrong button there. Let's take a little peek-see down here. A little peek. So if we look at where we're at now in today's market, we're over here. This is where we're at today. And again, kind of this is just oh, there's a fucking fly here, little gnat. But so this is a derivative of that line. So basically, you know, every time we all know how this works, right? When it's red or when it's green, it's below the line. When it's red, it's above the line. It's just a derivative of what we just saw on the colorful model. So basically, what this is indicating is, hey, we're below the line right now. And what was the rule earlier? What was the basic rule earlier that we follow? You buy below the line, sell above the line. And look at where we are now. Like, if this doesn't tell you that, again, not the best opportunity, not the very best, but it's oops, I'm way too zoomed in. But it's a solid opportunity to start buying, fellas. Like, so look at how low, this was the lowest potential peak that Bitcoin ever was. And we have what, one more time it was that low? Okay, maybe 2 more, 3, but fellas, we're in that same zone, negative 0.845. These were all negative 0.95, negative 0.85, negative 0.1. Like, so yes, there is a little bit of room to fall a little bit, but it's not going to be, I mean, a 70% retracement just wouldn't be realistic, to be honest. Like, I don't see how institutions wouldn't take advantage of that, or just rich billionaires. Like, if Bitcoin dips to 20 grand, they would be swooping that shit up. And if we, again, just observe this stock to flow model, or any price model really, Bitcoin has never, ever gone lower than its previous peak. Never. At least when it's a market cycle top. So, meaning, okay, this was this market cycle. So this was a local peak in that cycle. It was a 2-peak cycle. And this was the peak. It never, after it peaked again, it never went below that peak. It never went below that number. Never. It got to 3,000, but it didn't get to that peak. And where are we at now, fellas? So this was the previous peak, $20,000. So again, we might dip to 28. We might dip to 30. But the chances, I mean, if history is any indication of what's going to happen in the future, I highly doubt that we're going to go down to 20,000. And if we do, I told you, I'm selling everything. I'm selling this fucking couch. I'm selling everything. If Bitcoin goes to 10 grand a pop, bro, I'm selling everything. Close off my back glasses, everything you see, I'm selling, bro, and putting it directly $10,000 into Bitcoin. Again, if we look at this risk assessment as well, this is the thing that I crypto sent out for. Let's see. A lot of people are checking it out, so it may not load. But $10,000, here we have, look how low that risk is according to this risk model. So like I said, if because this guy, he recommends going all in if it's like 0.1, 0.2. He's like 5x your daily investment type deal. Well, it just refreshed, but y'all saw it. But that's the point, man. Like when Bitcoin goes lower, it's more of an opportunity. When it gets higher, that's to get nervous. That's time to be like, oh shit, it's time to like take profits and get the fuck out. So that's kind of the general idea of this video. And set up a trading bot. Or if you don't want to set up a trading bot, I totally understand that. But have that same idea. Like every time Bitcoin dips a little bit, or Ethereum dips 10% or 5%, 3%, make a hard rule for yourself. I'm gonna put in $100. I'm gonna put in another $75 or something, $40, $50. Like just every time it does that. I like bots because it's something I could set, forget, go to sleep, wake up, there's more money. I really love that. Really do appreciate that. But fellas, this is the idea. When everybody's fearful, man, it's time to strike. It's time to get in there. Again, if we look at the fear to greed ratio, you might need to line this up also with how the price performed. Because I'm sure some of these were correct, when to be fearful. But a lot of the time, like these people were greedy. So when was the peak? 2018 was the last peak. Let's see. Okay. Well, not a good example. To be fair, that's, not a good example. But I don't know. I'm just strictly sticking to the stock to flow model, and I think it's a solid tool to be looking at right now, because I think it tells more of the story accurately. Like, we were overextended in this cycle, so I think we're oversold still, because we were ahead of the cycle. Everything was overextended, so that's why we crashed and had this fall, because everything was ahead of schedule. This fella, what's his name? Not this fella. His name is Benjamin Cohen. He's the guy crypto simped for. Bitcoin schedule. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know if I'll be able to find it on the spot. But basically, he shows that we're ahead of schedule, like according to the last cycle, like where the last cycle was and where we are. We're like on par. But if Bitcoin always has diminishing returns, then I think we'll be able to catch it real quick. Let's see. So so boom, right away. So we have cycle 1, cycle 2, cycle 3. He measures them from the bottom of the previous cycle, or the market dip or whatever. So this is where we are at in our cycle, roughly. Obviously, a little more over here now, but the idea is there's diminishing returns from cycle 1 to cycle 2, and we were pretty much on par with cycle 1 or even cycle 2 at times. And it's like we were ahead of schedule, theoretically, from an ROI standpoint, from a, in other words, if you invested in when it was $1 and it goes to $100, obviously you're going to have 100x, but we're not going to see those same type of returns on Bitcoin specifically. But the idea is you can kind of guesstimate on where we're at. And Benjamin Cohen, this guy, he kind of guesstimates. Well, before I dive into this, I think just to paraphrase this video, I think if I remember correctly, he guesstimates like a 7x return. Oh, this chart is brilliant. This was the one I'm looking for. So this is cycle 3. So cycle 2, we are way ahead of cycle 2 when you talk about the ROI. We are way ahead. So that was another indication that it's like, all right, we're going to be due for a correction. And that's what happens. So if we dip down or even kind of stay around this level and just level out for some time and, I don't know, end up over here, it's going to follow at least these 2 cycles. It's going to make sense with diminishing returns and longer cycles. It's going to all line up and make sense. But the point is, his guesstimate on what's going to happen as well is probably about 3 to 6 months of consolidating, and then or like maybe a little bit of downwards movement or maybe a little bit of sideways movement. But the point is like, fellas, it's just going to be more fuel. So more people are going to, like, it's like holding the rope down so more people can get over the fence, like that's kind of what's about to be happening. But you guys should definitely like watch this dude. But altogether, again, just bringing it back to the initial point of this entire video is like, don't be scared. Don't be scared right now. Like, get happier that Bitcoin is going lower, because it's just presenting more opportunity, more and more opportunity. Every time it takes another 5%, 10% dip, it's more opportunity for us. So that hopefully summarizes this. And, obviously, again, no one's like, we don't know what's going to happen in the future. I'm just using my best judgment on these charts. And, maybe according to this chart, yeah, we'll probably have a few more weeks of going down. But again, I'm ready for it. Like I said, these bots are designed to buy on dips. And not only that, but I also have another side bag that I'm ready to dish out in about 3 months when, if there is a local bottom. But I think based on the stock to flow chart, just briefly looking at it, like there's too much risk to not be buying right now is my opinion. When you look at this, there's too much risk not to be buying, because every time when you look at this chart, around the 0.8, 0.9 range, the negative 0.8, 0.9, it's looked like it's yielded a good opportunity. And to be fair, again, with Paul, dipping out a little bit, I don't think that's a bad move. Like I said, I do think we'll dip a little bit more. But how much more? Like, probably not very much. Probably, and I'm prepared for it. So the point is, fellas, this is the time to be setting up more positions in my opinion. And time will tell. We'll see how it goes. I think I also looked at this earlier. Every time that this chart hit 0.8 or around that, it took about 5 to 7 months to recover and get to a sell zone. So it is going to be a 4-month process at least, maybe 3 months, but nothing off par to what I said, this entire time when I sold and said, hey, I think there's gonna be 2 to 3 months of consolidation, 40% correction, all this stuff. This is all on par. This is all everything that I planned. And, I wish I was more overt and just told y'all, hey man, like, I wish I was more overt with what my strategy was, but sticking to that plan, I don't think it's a bad decision. And I have BlockFi as well. I put in like 10 grand, and every day it's just buying like $20 of Bitcoin and $20 of Ethereum and like $5 of Chainlink. So I think now, fellas, is, again, I can't say it again. I can't reiterate it enough. So hopefully that shows you the proper way to invest is when people are scared, when there's everyone fucking terrified, man, like, it's time to be swooping little bags. And when everybody's happy, so fast forward, when there's pumps and Bitcoin's back up and Ethereum's back on the moon and Ethereum hits 12 grand, that's the time, fellas, to be like, oh shit. So remember that. When that happens, remember this fucking talk. Remember this. A little red flag in the back of your head should be going up when all these prices and everybody's getting bullish again and everybody's getting happy and excited. Little red flag, little Pag's voice should be popping up in the back of your head. Start taking profits. Start getting out. Start making an exit plan, because that's the best investing. Be fearful when others are greedy. Be greedy when others are fearful. Thank you again, fellas. Hopefully we're going to make some more money. Peace out.